Welcome to Happy Homes and Gardens. I'm your host. My name is Daphne Royse. I am a real estate broker, architecture, and interior designer. Markus Pesonen has over 20 years of experience as a composer and a sound artist in Europe and the Nordic, and also 4 other continents. Markus is the founder and the CEO of Olo, which has sold handcrafted 360-degree speakers all over the world. Let's welcome Markus to share how you can feel music with Olo.Audio speakers. Welcome, Markus.
Thank you.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm a composer from Finland and based now in the Bay Area here. I've been living from music for 20 years. So I used to work as a composer and musician and sound artist, playing like 100 concerts a year. I used to travel all the time, so every third day I would be playing somewhere. And then in 2014, I played in the Royal Albert Hall in London. And before that, I had been working in areas of jazz, contemporary music, film music. I did some theater and dance pieces, so in quite a wide range. And I had been really like focusing on just getting out there. But it's quite hard to be on the road all the time. Like for the mind and for the body, I was looking for different things for my mental health. And then on that day when I played in the Royal Albert Hall, I just felt a bit empty afterwards. And I was like, what's going on? My identity is so much built around being an artist. And that's when I realized I really want to work with health and expand from just the art to further. And that's how I then ended up founding my first companies that was actually combining music and health.
That must be hard. If you have 100 shows, that means every one in 3 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have to go through all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of airports, a lot of traveling, a lot of early mornings and late evenings. So.
Okay. I'm sure most of the shows during the nighttime, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell us about your handcrafted 360-degree speakers. Why are they different than other speakers on the market? So I assume this is the guy.
Yeah, this is a special shape for the listeners. We can describe it. It's like there's traditional speakers are projecting sound on one direction, but these ones are projecting in all directions. So actually there's a speaker down and up, and then there's this piece of wood in the center that has this parabolic curve, and that's dividing the sound 360 degrees. So it feels like sitting inside a sound hologram. So instead of hearing the sound coming from one point, you are inside the sound. And it just makes it more immersive. You're like enveloped in the listening experience.
Can you tell us more about, you want to raise this speaker a little bit? Mm-hmm. And why is this speaker shaped this way?
Yeah, so here it's the idea that, you know, like in houses, the best light that we can have is the indirect light. You don't want to have the light bulb pointing to your face, but actually to have a really soft and warm and kind of enveloping light, you want it to have it indirect, and that makes rooms look also beautiful. And you know, that's how sunlight is also. We don't want to stare directly at the sun. It often reflects from different surfaces to us. So you could say that with the sound, it's the same thing. Instead of the speaker pointing directly to you, it's actually reflecting through this piece of metal, and there's a very specific curve that makes it reflect in the right way. And that's why it goes to all directions, and of course it then bounces back from walls and the ceiling and even the floor. And that's how the sound spreads all around the room, and it doesn't matter where are you standing in the room, you'll hear it everywhere in an evenly way. And another thing that it does is that it doesn't give so much pressure of the sound. So even if you would be living in a house with neighbors, it doesn't give the same kind of pressure that you will disturb others in the next room. One of the things that we've noticed, that if you have, let's say you have a party with people and you have some nice music in the background, you can hear the music, but at the same time you can have a conversation very easily. So the music doesn't overpower, and you don't have to shout when you're having the conversation.
Okay. And I don't know what this part is. I do see a speaker always facing on the side, but you're facing directly up and down. What is that part called?
This part in the middle.
This part.
Oh, this is the speaker itself, the driver that vibrates where the sound comes from, and you know, that design has been the same in speakers for almost as long as we have speakers. I mean, there's of course the gramophones in the way back, but this has been a long time. And what the invention and what makes it special is that indirectness, that it comes through radiating as a bouncing from this wooden piece.
Okay, I see. And where is the best place to put a speaker?
So that's the most interesting thing, that the best place is anywhere, basically. If you want to have a really special listening experience, you might want to be sitting between two of these. But because it reflects to all directions, you can actually just put it where you think it looks nice, or where it's convenient for you to put it in the room. So the placement has a lot more freedom than traditional speakers.
And how many speakers you actually needed, since this is indirectly, just for example, like a certain size of room? But
yeah, if you have like a living room like we're in now, just two of these satellites is sufficient. And then there's the subwoofer that gives the low frequencies, the bass. And then we have a unit that is a little bit bigger than this, that is also just two towers that are just a little bit shorter than we are.
Okay.
So you have like a smaller and a bigger one, depending how much power you need and how big the room is and so on. But we have designed also commercial spaces like restaurants or spas, and then you might have several of them. You can hang it from the ceiling, you can have it on the wall.
Okay.
So it really depends on the space.
That's interesting. Basically anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And also I would like to ask you, since you are a sound artist, so why is it important to hear authentic sounds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, let me rewind back like all the way to the history of humans. So we have been living 99.8% of our time in nature, enveloped by nature sounds in a three-dimensional way, where we hear sounds from everywhere. And actually our hearing has been historically the eyes behind our back that all the time informs us, where am I, and helps us orient in the space. So I believe that it's really important that we have that kind of spatial listening experience. And sometimes when you have traditional speakers, if they are in the wrong place in the room, they can get kind of boomy, or there's unwanted frequencies that gets distorted, or wrong things get amplified, and the music doesn't come across as it was intended. And with this, when it's all around, it's more closer to the natural acoustics that we're used to. And you know, our nervous system and our being is being wired over, you know, hundreds of thousands of years of living in nature. So there's something really profound in that. And I actually also work with nature sounds. So part of my work is to travel around the world in high biodiversity places and record the nature sounds in 3D. And apart from the work with the speakers, I still design sound and create sound journeys that have this 3D nature sounds and music together. And we actually use them therapeutically. People use it to relax, to fall asleep better, or just to be able to get into a flow state emotionally, get into a better state. So that's another thing that we have created, which is this app that you can listen with.
Tell us more about 3D natural sound.
So we capture the sound in a way with the special microphones that you capture the whole 360 degrees of the listening experience. So when you listen these kind of sounds, either with these speakers or even with headphones, you can hear the distance and the direction of the sound. It feels like there's a bird there, there's a little river there, and when the sound is three-dimensional, it has an impact to our nervous system and the brain that is beneficial. And we actually had a university do a controlled study on our sounds and could validate that it has health benefits.
You always say sound as medicine. Can you elaborate that?
So there's a lot of studies already about how sound and music has a profound impact on us as humans. There's a lot of validation in science for that. And what I believe, that sound is still underused therapeutically. So we could actually elevate the use of sound to a level of medicine where it can become part of our healthcare system, where you could actually help to reduce stress. Like stress is a huge part of mental health and many physical chronic ailments. And we can use sound is very non-invasive. It's a very safe way to have therapeutic effects and these kind of benefits. So that's one of the things that we're doing. We are working with sound, proving the effects of it, and creating sound content that is maybe a little different from music that you would hear in the radio, but because it has those nature sounds and it's designed for therapeutic use, it has those health benefits.
Let's talk about the app you mentioned. Is Olo.Space?
Yeah,
okay.
So we have the speakers, that is Olo.Audio, and then we have the app that is Olo.Space. And maybe people have heard about different meditation and mindfulness apps and maybe even tried some. And we think that there's 3 things that should be done differently, what we really focused on. The first one is that you don't actually need to meditate. So I believe that meditation is useful, but it was created thousands of years ago to a society very different from ours. And now knowledge work is focus and concentration, and we get attention fatigue. So when you would then do concentration meditation on top of that, it can feel like a lot of work where the benefits come later. And we actually know that not everybody, and actually most of people, cannot make a meditation as a habit because it's quite difficult. But I think there's an easier way, and that's about positive mind wandering. So what we usually say to people, that all you have to do is nothing. You just close your eyes and listen and let go, and just let your mind wander. And this has benefits for your rejuvenation. The 2 other things that we then focused on is that in the app you don't need to scroll and choose for content. You just press one button and the app chooses for you. So it's easy to use.
How would the app know what you like?
It starts to learn from your interaction with it. So after the experience, you can, with a one-tap feedback, tell it how it was. And we're actually planning to then connect biofeedback through wearables too, so it could like understand from your heart rate variability, for example, your stress levels and things like that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Is the app that would know how you feel before they select the music for you?
You don't need to know how you feel. It's more like training the app over time as you give it feedback from listening. And we did piloting with over 5,000 people before we built the app. So we kind of mapped out the effects of sound. And there's some kind of what we say tonic sounds that no matter in what state you are, it will help you. So if you are very stressed out, it will help you to calm down. If you feel like low in energy, it will kind of boost a bit more the energy. So that's, and the third thing is really the quality of the sound. So as a composer, I was looking at when I had my own problems, I was looking at everything available, and I was a bit frustrated that most of the content out there was quite static and boring, and I felt like this could be done so much more better. And that's where we thought, like, let's record the sounds ourselves and show what the difference is when it's really three-dimensional listening experience.
I just want to know your personal experience. So what kind of music instruments do you play?
My main instrument was guitar. I love to play all kinds of instruments, so my favorite thing is to play an instrument I never tried it before and just figure out how it works. Yeah, guitar was the main. I did do a lot of composition, so writing for other instruments, so then you kind of have to know a little bit of everything.
Are any music instruments actually can affect your mood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course people have their favorites, and there is, we can say that the kind of music that you love the most has best benefits for you, because we rewire our nervous system with the experiences that we love. So it's kind of reinforcement learning, but for us humans, that if you hear your favorite song, right away you feel something, right?
I want to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are your Olo speakers made to order? And I know they are coming from Germany. How long it would take to ship from Germany here to US? Mm-hmm. And also, do they come with the warranty? Okay,
so yeah, this is handmade from like sustainable materials in Germany, and we are actually bringing more of them to US. So right now the shipping will be around 6 weeks, but as we bring more speakers to here and have our warehouse here, then you can have it in days. So in the future it will be faster. But yeah, from the website you'll be able to contact us, and it comes with a 2-year warranty.
Great. And what kind of wood are they? I know that there are 2 different colors on your website.
Yeah, that's correct. So this is this darker wood that we're seeing here now. This has a cherry wood finish, and then the lighter one is maple. Then you can also get them painted with different colors where you still see the wood grain through it, but most people choose one of the wood colors.
Okay. If I don't like either color, would you be able to customize my color?
Yes.
I maybe want a pink one.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want a pink, we can custom paint it for pink, and that's possible, yeah. Okay.
That'd be great. So basically any color I want.
Yeah, that's possible. And we have even with a gold leaf, so you can have this kind of gold leaf type of finish.
Okay. How about the metal finish? Can I choose different metal?
The metal finish is always the same, so that's kind of chrome.
Okay.
Chrome finish. Yeah.
Okay. And on your website, there are 2 different type of speaker, Sunray and Eternita.
Yes. So that's the Sunray was the one with the 2 satellites and 1 separate subwoofer, and then the bigger model Eternita has just 2 towers, and they have subwoofers built into them, so that has like more power for bigger size spaces. You can also, I've used them in concerts, so I've especially with acoustic instruments, it can be really beautiful sounding, or voice. Usually the PA systems, the speaker systems, they kind of color and change the sound and are not optimal for acoustic instruments, but these ones, it just feels like there's just more of the sound in the room, but it doesn't change the color of it.
Okay, and how heavy are they?
Oh, that's a good question, because I'm from Europe, so I'm used to thinking kilograms, but so this would be something around, what could I say?
How many kilograms?
Yeah, so I don't remember by heart, but I think like one of these might be close to 10, maybe a little bit less than 10 kilograms. I don't know how to convert that into pounds.
2.2?
Yeah, something like that. And then the bigger ones is a lot more, but it's like, it's liftable. so you can move it. Yeah,
you can basically take it anywhere.
Yeah,
in your residence or offices.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
What made you want to move to United States, and what is the difference in the music industry in Europe and also in US?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. I was visiting United States in my musician years, playing concerts here. I was a little bit more in the East Coast in New York, but I had visited California, especially Los Angeles. And I always had a really magical time in California. I really enjoyed it, and it's funny that it took me so long time to actually move here, because now that I'm here, it feels so obvious to be here, and it feels very comfortable. I sometimes say that, like, I'm a very future-oriented person. I love innovation and new things, and think about where is our world going, where's our culture going, how can we create more enjoyable and health-enhancing built environment and technology. And I feel like that in here I can live closest to the future, if you know what that means.
I know what you mean. We're in Silicon Valley, so
Yeah.
we are big in tech.
Yeah.
You mentioned your app earlier. Use any technology in your app?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we make different is the quality of the content inside of the app, and then the user interface. Like, it's really about the fastest time to value. We want people to act, we really care about humane technology, so how can technology help us to be more human instead of humans working for the technology. So I think being able to focus really on well-being enhancing technology, which is sometimes it's like that you're actually not stuck in the phone all the time, but you just, it helps you to have an experience. But when you use the Olo app, it actually tells you to close your eyes and it fades to black. So we want to create this habit where you actually put your phone away and close your eyes for a moment and take that inner time that is rejuvenating. We are saying that if you close your eyes, you might see better what's actually important for you. Because when we are, and this has been studied, usually when people pick up the phone, sometimes we don't even know why. It's just like a knee-jerk reaction that there's a moment of nothingness and we need something quickly. And sometimes I think we should spend more time just listening to ourselves than picking up the phone immediately. So that's the kind of habit we want to create. And, you know, there's a huge global mental health problem, and it's even worse in younger people. So I think there's a lot that we need to learn about how to use technology in a way that also benefits our health, or at least doesn't make it worse.
I think I know why you like California.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't get a winter like you have in Finland.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, I also moved away already when I was 20. I lived in Copenhagen and Berlin. But yeah, now we're in November and today is a beautiful sunny day, and you know, it does something for your mood when you see the sun. I mean, I love snow too, and it can be really enjoyable to be in that, but yeah, it's unbeatable, the weather here.
Unbeatable, but you might one day want to make music of snow, so you can bring back your memory.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, and there's some actually really interesting sounds that come from snow. So yeah.
Tell us where people can find your Olo speakers, and where they can purchase your Olo speakers.
Yeah, so that's one place, Olo.Audio. That's the place where the speakers are. It's a web store. You can purchase them there. You can find our contact information. If there's any question or things, I'm happy to talk more to people who are interested. And then for the app, it's Olo.Space. So that's where you can find that.
I know what, this is a really impressive speaker. I would love to have one at my house.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's different. Sometimes speakers are like black and plastic, and I had a lot of comments from people like, oh, this is like a beautiful interior design part. So yeah, we've got a lot of interest in a short time here, so yeah.
Playing better with the modern homes.
Yes, that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Markus, for your time. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Daphne.
it.
Thank you, I enjoyed it.
Thank you.